Hey there. So I'm going to talk about um, empathy, trusting others. Two situations that really have brought this up for me. And there's like no point to what I'm saying, but maybe somebody's going to get something out of it. It's not like I have like a beginning, middle and end, but I want to tell you two stories. So, the first story involves women, um, and one is a really fairly good friend of mine, and she's attended a one of my retreats, and so I've been able to spend time with her and also look at her human design chart. And we were having this discussion about whether a utopian society is possible. We were having a discussion online, and my background is that as part of the fundamentalist church, um, it's called sin nature, and so basically we could never have a utopian society because sin exists, and sin exists because Adam and Eve chose back in the day to take a bite of the apple, and so therefore all of their kids since then have been born with this sin nature. It's in everyone. And that's why Jesus had to have a virginal birth and be outside of genetics per se, because he had to not receive that sin nature from his parents. And so that's my background. And ever since I left the church and left the ideology, I've been playing around with, whether I believe that that's true or not. And so my friend's post was actually fairly triggering to me in the sense that here's somebody who's outside of the church, and they're also saying to me, basically, there's sin nature. And so anyway, I was like, oh, my hackles went up, and I became very protective about what I believed, and so I had to let that unravel a little bit. And then when I was less protective of it, I was able to explore, and so then I was able to come back and post like, I'm just not sure, because my experience, and I'm going to say it's from incredible privilege that I've been able to have this experience in life. I have not experienced people who are terrible. There's really two people in my life that I could say who've been really like unduly or unfairly terrible toward me, meaning, like I didn't have necessarily any contribution in it. And those were my old neighbors at my old apartment building, and I do not have fond feelings of them, but my friend, who I know really well, came back and she responded to my post and basically said to me, no, Holly, you haven't experienced what I've experienced, and if you had, basically you wouldn't be saying that a utopian society is possible, because people are legit terrible. And I let that sit because I don't want to be dogmatic anymore in my beliefs like I used to be. And so that is one thing that happened. And then at the same time, I was and I have been experiencing like a huge flare in lower back pain, to the point where Like, I can't even make it through a week without having to, like, go see a massage therapist or other type of chiropractic body work kind of thing. And that has been, like, super concerning to me in terms of, like, oh boy, how am I going to live the rest of my life? Like, I've got to get this taken care of. So for me to experience just 1 week of somewhat chronic pain, again, awakened me to other people's experience. And I think actually about my ex-husband and how when he was experiencing back pain, he got like no sympathy from me. And I claim that, and I take that on, and I admit that. And because at that point I'd always just been able to, oh, whatever, just do your thing and move on. The whole point of this is that I'm 42 years old, and I feel like I'm learning so much, and I feel somewhat silly for having just now been learning these lessons. And maybe that's what privilege does. But what I'm saying is, right now, I feel like it's another tap on my shoulder. Hey, Holly, when people share with you their experience in life, don't blow it off. Like, it's another, be a good human, Holly, and trust that people's perception about what's happening in their body or what's happening in the world, that is accurate for them. And that is their experience. And even though I've not experienced chronic pain before, and even though I've not experienced truly terrible, like, evil people, I've experienced a lot of misguided people. I've experienced a lot of hurt people. And I haven't experienced evil people. And just because I haven't experienced that doesn't mean that they either don't exist or that they aren't, that it's not true, about them. And so maybe this is just like a humble video reminding us to be humble. And I have to go now, but I'll talk to you later.